Hello, Pleasant Grove students, parents, and guardians. This is a short tutorial to introduce Viking Time, the new remediation program we'll be using to replace the old Flex program. Before we dive in, I want to make sure we're clear on some of the educational terminology we use when discussing Viking Time. When we talk about remediation, we're talking about giving students who need it a little extra time and help to master the concepts and skills we're working on in class. When we talk about enrichment, we're talking about giving students who already understand the concepts and skills a little extra guidance to help them grow beyond what they're already capable of doing. With the old flex model, students didn't have much accountability for where they were or what they were doing. Those students who chose to be responsible utilized 100 minutes of school time each week to complete assignments and relearn concepts. Teachers were able to request students to work in their classrooms for assignment completion, test retakes, and to reteach concepts, but we didn't always get to see the students we were hoping to work with. Flex had a different value and meaning for each teacher, and there wasn't a lot of consistency in what we were all doing at that time. For the administrators, Flex meant 100 minutes each week policing the hallways, trying to get students where they needed to be, and enforcing the Flex rules. If something else came up in the morning that required the administrator's attention, that policing and supervision didn't happen. The major challenges with the old Flex model were getting students where they needed to be, meeting all of the needs of students from multiple classes in just 25 minutes each day, and sharing the students who regularly needed help in multiple classes. Our response was to form a committee of 14 people, including 2 students, a parent, and several teachers, administrators, counselors, and other staff members to study the issue and come up with a better program. We've participated in hours of meetings. We visited other schools, experiencing success with other programs. We've put in a lot of study and research, and we've tried to carefully consider the needs of students, parents, and teachers to come up with the best possible solution. With our new program, we're going to keep the students we need after class so that the students are already where they need to be. We'll only be remediating students from one class each day, so students won't have to compete with students from multiple classes all trying to get what they need at the same time. All students will only be remediating one class each day, so they won't be pulled in 8 directions at the same time trying to decide what to work on. The idea behind Viking Time is similar to what we tried with Sail Time earlier in the school year, but we've been able to cut out a lot of the problems that made that program unpopular. On Tuesdays through Fridays, there will be one 25-minute Viking Time period each day. That period will rotate throughout the week so that it follows a different class period each day. On their day, teachers will determine who needs help and will be staying for Viking Time. This will usually be about 10 to 20% of the class. The rest of the students will be released to go to other workspaces and enrichment activities of their choice, similar to what we did with the old Flex model, but with a little more emphasis on using the time to get work done or participate in enrichment activities with more of an academic purpose. So here you can see our Tuesday schedule with Viking Time following first period. Whether it is an A day or a B day, students will either stay after their first period class or be released by their teacher to work in other workspaces or to attend other enrichment activities. On Wednesdays, Viking Time will follow second period. Again, this is the same regardless of whether it's an A day or a B day. The students either stay in their second period class or are released to workspaces and enrichment activities. On Thursdays, Viking Time will follow third period. The schedule gets a little tricky here for students with second lunch. To avoid having most of the school out of class for lunch and Viking Time all at the same time, students with second lunch will have to report back to third period for Viking Time after lunch is over. The teacher will take roll, then release the students that don't need to stay. This might be a little tricky at first, but after a couple of weeks, it'll become pretty routine. On Fridays, Viking Time will fall at the end of the day, following fourth period. Just like any other day, students will be expected to remain on campus until 2:45. Viking time allows students to get help in each class once every 2 weeks, but we've had feedback from the community that parents want their students to be able to visit teachers to ask questions and get clarification or missing assignments a little more often without only relying on time before or after school each day. In response to this concern, we've added a 20-minute advisory class to the Monday schedule after first period. This will show up as a new class on student schedules. After first period on Mondays, students will report to their assigned advisory class. Their teacher will take roll and report absences and tardies just like any other class period. Advisory will be similar to what we've been doing with consultation time for the last several months, except students will start with an assigned place to be. Unless they have a teacher they need to talk to, students won't have a reason to be out in the halls, eliminating the temptation to just wander around. After taking roll, teachers can allow the students who need to go visit other teachers and get help with quick questions. The rest of the students will have that 20 minutes to check their grades, work on assignments, or go over what they need to do to be more successful in school with their advisory teacher. Once each teacher is finished with the students coming in to ask questions, he or she can spend the remaining time helping students who need a little extra help to go over their grades and schedules to develop a plan to be more successful over the coming week. Not only does this give students a little more time and freedom to make sure they're staying on top of things, but it gives them an advocate in their teacher who can give them a little extra support and attention. The point of all this is that we're not just changing a program, we're changing the culture of our school. We're building in a school-wide remediation and enrichment program that will help both students and teachers in ways our old flex program did not. We want to provide students with the extra time and support they need while they're continuing to develop the skills and responsibility that will help them be successful in school and in life. This program will go into effect at the beginning of fourth term on March 12th, and will continue throughout the rest of this year and into the next year as well. We're really excited to see the progress that we're going to make with these students and as a school with this program. So thanks for your help and support.